Imagine this. You've got some debt hanging over your head, maybe credit cards, student loans, or a car payment, and at the same time, you're trying to save money for the future. You stare at your bank account and think, should I pay down this debt first, or should I save some money just in case? It's a question that trips up so many people, and the truth is, there isn't always a one-size-fits-all answer. But today, we're breaking it down. When it makes sense to pay off debt first, when it's smarter to save, and how to find the balance that keeps you financially secure without feeling overwhelmed. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to decide what to do with your money. Welcome to Aaron's Money Manual, where we simplify money so you can stress less and live more. Let's jump in. The first thing to understand is that debt is not all the same. There's high-interest debt, like credit cards that charge 20% or more. Then there's moderate debt, like car loans or personal loans, and low-interest debt, like federal student loans. The type of debt you have will almost always dictate what your first step should be. High-interest debt is a financial time bomb. Every month you carry a balance, you're paying extra money that could have been used for saving or investing. The longer it sits, the more it costs you. That's why, in most situations, paying off high-interest debt first is usually the smartest move. But here's the catch. Even when you have debt, you can't ignore the unexpected. Life throws curveballs, car repairs, medical bills, job hiccups, and if you don't have some savings to cover them, you could end up adding even more debt. That's why the common advice you hear is to at least start with a small emergency fund before aggressively paying down debt. Think $500 to $1,000 as a buffer fund. It's not about perfection, it's about protecting yourself from setbacks that would otherwise force you to rely on more credit. Once you have this starter fund, you can start putting more money toward debt repayment. Now, let's talk numbers. Imagine you have a credit card with a $2,000 balance at 18% interest and $1,000 sitting in a checking account. If you spend months building a full emergency fund of $5,000 first, you'll be paying hundreds in interest while your cash sits idly. But if you put all your extra money toward paying off the credit card, you reduce the interest you owe, freeing up cash faster in the long run. That's why timing and balance are key. A starter emergency fund protects you, and everything beyond that should typically go toward high-interest debt first. Low-interest debt is a different story. If you're dealing with something like a 3 to 5% federal student loan, you might have more flexibility. In some cases, keeping a slightly larger emergency fund and paying minimums on low-interest debt can be the smarter move. You're basically letting your money work in your favor. Investments and savings can sometimes earn more over time than the interest you're paying. But again, this depends on your risk tolerance and how stable your income is. So how do you actually decide what to do first in real life? Start by listing all your debts, their interest rates, and your current savings. Then ask yourself, which debt is actively costing me the most each month? That's usually where your extra payments should go. Then consider your financial safety net. Do you have at least a starter emergency fund? If not, divert a small portion of your cash flow to build that buffer while still chipping away at debt. This way, you're protecting yourself and reducing future costs at the same time. A lot of people ask, can I split my money between debt and savings? Absolutely. This is often the healthiest approach. Let's say you have $500 extra per month. You could put $300 toward high-interest debt and $200 toward savings. This way, you're making progress on both fronts. You're reducing debt faster than minimum payments alone, and you're also keeping a safety net intact in case something unexpected happens. Over time, as debts are paid off, you can shift even more money towards savings or investments. Another important thing to consider is your mental health and stress levels. Money isn't just numbers, it's peace of mind. Some people sleep better knowing they have savings to fall back on, even if their debt lingers a little longer. Others feel liberated by seeing debt balances shrink quickly. There's no wrong approach here as long as you're intentional and consistent. The key is to make a plan that matches your personality, your financial situation, and your comfort level. Automation can make this process much easier. Just like you pay your bills on autopilot, set up automatic transfers to both debt payments and savings. Out of sight, out of mind, and consistent progress happens without having to think about it. Another tip is to use windfalls wisely. Tax refunds, bonuses, or gifts can either go directly to debt or savings, depending on which goal is more urgent. These one-time boosts can accelerate your progress significantly. Finally, keep in mind that your financial strategy isn't set in stone. Life changes, interest rates change, and income can fluctuate. Review your plan regularly. Adjust how much you allocate to debt versus savings if something shifts. The important thing is that you have a plan, stick to it, and are actively making your money work for you rather than letting it control you. At the end of the day, whether you pay off debt first or save first comes down to 3 factors: the type of debt you have, the interest rates involved, and your personal safety net. High interest debt? Pay it down aggressively, low interest debt, balance savings and debt strategically. No matter what, start with a starter emergency fund, stay consistent, and make adjustments as life happens. This method gives you financial security, reduces stress, and ensures that you're making smart choices for both today and tomorrow. Thank you for watching Aaron's Money Manual. I am grateful for everyone's support, and I truly appreciate you taking the time to watch and learn. Please like, comment, and subscribe for weekly videos, and share this video with anyone you think might benefit from a simple, stress-free approach to investing. If you haven't yet, check out my recent videos for more helpful tips and strategies to take control of your finances. I hope you find them useful, and I can't wait to share more actionable advice with you in future videos. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.